Have you ever felt invisible? Like no matter what you did, no one saw your value. No one believed in your dreams. No one thought you could make it. That was me. For years, I lived in the shadow of other people's doubts. Teachers shook their heads. Friends laughed. Even my family told me to be realistic. But here's the truth I discovered. The world will never believe in you until you believe in yourself first. And this is the story of how everything changed the moment I chose to believe. I grew up in a small town where everyone knew everyone else. And in a place like that, labels stick to you like glue. I was the average kid, not the smartest, not the most talented, not the one anyone expected much from. At school, I was the quiet one in the back row. When teachers asked questions, I kept my hand down. Even when I knew the answer, fear of being wrong held me back. When I shared my dreams, that I wanted to build something, to create a life beyond the limits of that small town, people laughed. People like us don't do that. Stop dreaming. Be practical. Why don't you just get a normal job? Everywhere I turned, there was doubt. And slowly, I started to believe them. There were nights I lay awake staring at the ceiling, asking myself, maybe they're right. Maybe I really am nobody. Maybe I should give up. The weight of their disbelief became my prison. But then, something small happened, something that changed everything. One evening, after another hard day of hearing no from everyone around me, I found an old notebook in my drawer. Inside were words I had written years ago as a child. At the top of the page, in shaky handwriting, it said, "One day, I will do something that matters." I stared at those words for a long time. That was me, before the world taught me to doubt. That was me, before fear. That was me, believing without question. And suddenly I asked myself, what if I could believe again? What if I trusted myself the way that little kid did? That night, I made a choice. I decided to believe, even if no one else did. The next morning, I woke up with a new kind of energy. Nothing in the outside world had changed. People still doubted me, but something inside me was different. I began setting small goals. Wake up early. Read one book every week. Practice one skill every day. Each time I reached a goal, I wrote it down in that same notebook. Slowly, page by page, belief grew inside me. Of course, it wasn't easy. There were days I slipped, days I wanted to quit, but I kept reminding myself, if I don't believe in me, no one else ever will. My first attempts at success were failures. I tried starting a small business. It collapsed in 3 months.
Quit.
I entered a competition. I lost in the first round. I applied for opportunities. Rejection after rejection. Every failure was painful, and people around me were quick to remind me, "See, we told you. You're wasting your time." But here's the difference. This time, I didn't let their voices decide my value. For the first time in my life, I believed enough to keep going, even when the world said stop. Months turned into years, and then the breakthrough came. I finally created something people noticed. My work, once ignored, started to speak louder than the doubts. The same people who laughed began to ask questions. The same teachers who shook their heads now nodded with pride. The same family who told me to be realistic now said, "We always knew you could." It was ironic. Nobody believed in me until I did. Looking back, I realized something powerful. The world is a mirror. If you doubt yourself, people will reflect that doubt back to you. But when you believe in yourself, even quietly, the world begins to change its reflection. Belief is not magic. It doesn't make the path easy, but it makes the path possible. And in the end, it wasn't their belief that changed my life. It was mine. Dear listener, maybe you are where I once was. Maybe no one believes in you right now. Maybe they say your dream is too big, too impossible, too unrealistic. Let me tell you something. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they don't see your light yet. It doesn't matter if no one claps for you now. What matters is that you believe first. Because the truth is, the world follows confidence. People only believe in what you prove you believe in. So start today. Write down your goals. Take one small step. Keep promises to yourself. And when doubt comes, and it will, remember this story. Remember that the day you choose to believe may be the day your life begins to change. Nobody believed in me until I believed first. And that is enough. And one more thing, my friend. Believing in yourself is not only about life dreams. It is also about learning. Many of you are here to practice English. And maybe sometimes you feel the same doubt. It's too hard. I can't do it. I will never be fluent. But remember, learning a language is just like chasing a dream. Nobody may believe in you at first. Maybe even you don't fully believe yet. But the moment you say, I will keep going, I will practice, I will not quit, that is when everything begins to change. Every sentence you hear, every new word you learn, every story you listen to, is one more step forward. It may feel small today, but over time, it becomes powerful. So as you listen to stories like this, know that you are not only learning English, you are also learning to believe in yourself. And that belief will carry you further than anything else.